Welcome to OK Corral brought to life. Get ready to step into the Wild West like never before, where a legendary showdown unfolded in historic Tombstone, Arizona. In this immersive experience, you'll meet the main characters whose daring exploits and fierce determination defined a turbulent era. Feel the pulse of the frontier as the clash between law and outlaws erupts in riveting detail. And stay tuned for the grand finale, a breathtaking, immersive recreation of Tombstone, capturing the raw spirit and untamed energy of this iconic town. Saddle up and join us for a ride back in time that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Born in 1848, Wyatt Earp grew into one of the most legendary lawmen of the American Wild West. Known for his sharp instincts and unwavering resolve, his actions during the infamous OK Corral shootout in 1881 forever etched his name in frontier history. In that tense, defining moment in Tombstone, Arizona, Wyatt's steady hand and strategic thinking helped turn the tide in a conflict marked by chaos and lawlessness. Beyond the shootout, his life was full of surprising twists, from early experiences on rugged trails to his ventures as a gambler and entrepreneur. Many curious tales about his daring exploits have been passed down, blending myth and reality into a captivating legacy. His ability to stay calm under pressure and his relentless pursuit of justice continue to fascinate historians and enthusiasts alike, making Wyatt Earp a timeless symbol of courage and the spirit of the untamed West. Born in 1843, Virgil Earp emerged as the stalwart lawman of Tombstone, Arizona. As the eldest of the brothers, he held a vital role during the infamous 1881 showdown at the OK Corral. Serving as the town marshal, Virgil was renowned for his unflappable demeanor and steady leadership in a time of extreme tension. One curious fact, despite the volatile environment of the frontier, he managed to diffuse conflicts with a calm precision that set him apart from his contemporaries. Beyond his law enforcement duties, Virgil dabbled in business ventures and even mining, reflecting the multifaceted life of a true frontier survivor. His story is filled with intriguing episodes that reveal a man who balanced duty and risk in the wild, ever-changing landscape of the Old West. Born in 1851, John Henry Doc Holliday began his journey as a trained dentist, a profession that showcased his refined intellect and meticulous skills. Yet destiny had a different path in store for him. Drawn into the tumultuous life of the Wild West, he soon earned a reputation for his quick draw and fearless prowess during confrontations, notably at the legendary 1881 OK Corral shootout in Tombstone, Arizona. One curious fact about Doc Holliday is that, despite his later notoriety as a deadly gambler and gunfighter, he was well educated and possessed a sharp wit that contrasted sharply with his rugged persona. Even as he battled the debilitating effects of tuberculosis, his composure and sardonic humor in the face of danger were remarkable. His transition from a cultured dentist to a figure immersed in the rough-and-tumble world of frontier justice is filled with intriguing twists, blending intellect with the unpredictable nature of the Wild West. Doc Holliday's life story is a vivid tapestry of paradoxes, a man of education and elegance who became an emblem of frontier defiance, forever etching his legacy into the annals of American history. In the early 1880s, Tombstone, Arizona, was a booming frontier town fueled by silver mining and the restless dreams of fortune seekers. Life here was as unpredictable as the rugged landscape itself. Amid this vibrant yet volatile atmosphere, tensions steadily escalated between two distinct factions, the town's lawmen and a loosely organized group of outlaws known as the cowboys. The law enforcement side was led by a group of determined figures, including the famed Earp brothers, Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan, who had earned reputations for their firm resolve and commitment to maintaining order in a town on the edge of chaos. Alongside them was Doc Holliday, a former dentist whose transition to a sharp-witted gambler and deadly gunfighter added both skill and notoriety to their ranks. Together, they represented the forces of law and order, tasked with curbing the increasing lawlessness that threatened to overwhelm Tombstone. On the other side were members of the cowboy faction, a motley band of outlaws whose way of life revolved around cattle rustling, saloon brawls, and defiant disregard for the rules. Prominent among them were figures like Ike Clanton and Billy Clanton, whose personal grievances and disputes over business interests had sown deep seeds of distrust and animosity between the two groups. For months, small skirmishes and simmering confrontations had created an atmosphere charged with both anticipation and uncertainty. The boundaries between honor and lawlessness blurred as each side prepared for the inevitable clash. The spark that ignited this powder keg came on October 26, 1881. On that fateful day, a tense standoff materialized in a narrow, sunlit alley adjacent to a modest establishment known as the OK Corral. Although the actual location was not inside the building, its name would forever be synonymous with the confrontation that was about to unfold. Eyewitness accounts paint a picture of a moment when words and threats gave way to rapid, almost frenzied gunfire. In a matter of seconds, the quiet tension exploded into a chaotic exchange of bullets. The shootout was a brief, yet seismic, event. Lawmen and outlaws clashed with a ferocity that belied the brevity of the encounter. Every participant, from the resolute stance of Wyatt Earp, acting as Tombstone's town marshal, to the cool, calculated shots of Doc Holliday, played a critical role in what would become a defining moment of the Wild West. Although the actual gunfight lasted less than a minute, its impact was immediate and profound. The violence served as the culmination of months of mounting conflict, personal vendettas, and the relentless struggle between emerging law and anarchy. In the immediate aftermath, the consequences of that day rippled far beyond the dusty alleys of Tombstone. The shootout set off a chain reaction of legal battles, retaliatory acts, and personal tragedies. While the lawmen's victory at the OK Corral helped momentarily restore order, it also deepened existing divides. In the days and weeks that followed, the families and allies of both sides found themselves embroiled in a web of retribution and unresolved grievances that would haunt the community for years to come. Curiosity about the shootout only grew as conflicting accounts emerged. Some witnesses recalled a noble stand for justice, while others hinted at a chaotic, almost accidental cascade of events spurred by deep-seated mistrust. The ambiguity of who fired first, coupled with the swirling mix of fact and folklore, lent the event an aura of mystery that has persisted through the decades. What began as a desperate attempt to enforce order transformed into a legend, a mythic battle emblematic of the unforgiving and unpredictable spirit of the frontier. Over time, the story of the OK Corral evolved into one of America's most enduring narratives. It captured the imagination of the public and was immortalized in countless books, films, and reenactments. Tombstone itself became a living monument to the event, a tangible reminder of a time when a single burst of gunfire could upend lives and reshape the destiny of an entire town. The legacy of that day continues to be a subject of intense fascination, prompting historians and enthusiasts alike to sift through the layers of truth and myth that have accumulated over the years. The saga of the OK Corral is not merely a tale of gunfights and heroics, it is a reflection of the turbulent, often contradictory nature of the American frontier. It tells of a time when ambition and lawlessness walked hand in hand, when the quest for order was waged with bullets and courage, and when every participant carried with them a personal story of survival and defiance. Whether viewed as a triumph of law enforcement or a tragic manifestation of inevitable conflict, the events of October 26, 1881, continue to remind us of the enduring legacy of the Wild West, a legacy built on the interplay of honor, violence, and the relentless pursuit of justice.